Today we're just going to go through the new booking engine that's come out with the latest version of GuestPoint. To get started with the setup, just log into your cloud version of GuestPoint, go to the Management tab on the left, and at the top you'll see the booking engine here ready to go. It will be currently marked as disabled. Click on it and you'll get this page here, and when you're ready, just press Get Started. Now, it is required that your WebPoint booking engine, so our old one, is active before you can start the setup for this new one. Once we press Get Started, you can create your new URL for the new booking engine. Usually this will just be your property name, but if you want to customize it, you can however you'd like. So I'm just going to throw in my name here. It will automatically default to this domain. It's the only one we have currently available. Happy with this, we'll press Save and Continue. So now we'll go into the booking engine configuration and start setting up the booking engine. So here are going to be all our general details for the look and feel of your new booking engine. So you can play around with your colors at the top left, so your main colors and any supporting colors. I'm a fan of the default colors, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. You can re-add your logos to the top. One of the problems of our old booking engine is that the photos were a lot smaller, so they weren't as clear. The new booking engine does support much higher resolutions. So if you re-add all your images to your logos here or to your main gallery below and your room types, which we'll get to later, everything will look much better. And you can even configure your custom email messages that the customers get just through here. Same as an email setup, you have your insert fields at the top left to play around with to kind of put a personal touch to it. And at the top, they'll get their own confirmation number, you'll get the property name, your ABN, and their confirmation date of when they made the booking. You have a couple of options to play around with. So if you have any photos for the main property itself, you can add them here. As you can see, supports up to 2 megabytes now. So we click choose image from folder at the top, add our main image. So this will be the banner at the top for all your guests to see. Add a caption, and then just add photos. If you don't want your main gallery to appear in your booking engine, you can just disable it in the top right. So you go down, all of this will pre-fill from your old booking engine. So if it's already set up, you don't have to worry about it, but here are all your facilities that your property offers. So you can go through and tick each one, add more if you need to. And at the bottom is all your kind of details, so your terms and conditions, your check-in, check-out times, anything to do that's around, the things to do, your parking. All this again will pre-fill from your old booking engine, so if it's already set up once, you don't have to do it again. Next, we'll move on to the payments. This is where we can configure what cards you accept at the property. So at the bottom, MasterCard, Visa, and American Express, and the surcharges the property takes for these cards. Next, we'll see if it's a card guarantee only. So when they make the booking, they record their card details, it drops through to GuestPoint, and that's it. It's just recorded to guarantee. Or if you have GuestPoint Pay, you can turn this on, and then you can then take deposits at the time of booking, either whether that's the first night, whether that's a set amount, whether it's the full booking amount. That we can all configure that in the policies section in the next tab. You can also add some custom text here. So when someone does finish their booking, you can add any text here to pretty much tell them what you're going to use their card for. So we'll move on to the policies. We'll create our first policy in the top right. And here we can see the different settings we can play around with. So how do you manage deposits? Because we've only set it to card guarantee, you'll only have the option of no deposit. But if you do use GuestPoint Pay, here's where you can set the first night full amount or those actual pay upfront amounts. We'll go no deposit. How do I manage refunds? Well, I'm not taking a deposit, so there's no refunds needed. So I'll just put it at custom and leave it blank, and they'll actually get rid of that text from the preview at the bottom. How is our outstanding balance managed? So If the booking's $200, you're not taking a deposit, so when are they going to pay the $200? You can either invoice it. If it's on arrival, they pay. When they leave, if they're going to pay, or if it's prior to arrival, and you can set how many days before arrival that will be. And how do you manage cancellations? So if it's free, we can just say it's free. If it's only free until a certain amount of days before the check-in, like 2 days, you can see that automatically updates the bottom. Free cancellation up to 2 days. You would probably match these two up just for uniformity. So you can see at the bottom it now says no deposit is required, free cancellation up to 2 days before arrival, remaining balance to be paid 2 days before arrival. Credit card will be used to guarantee your booking. I'm happy with that. I'll give the policy a name. This is for internal use only. I'll just name it default and I'll set this at default as the top. This will now make this the default policy for all your rate plans, but you can create additional policies and specifically set them for specific packages, which we'll go through later. Next, you have your messages. If you want to display any custom messages around the booking engine, you can do it here. Play around the color, have your HTML text here you can play around with, some settings on what time, what countries, all the rules that make this message pop up, and where exactly it's going to pop up. So if it's under the cart, which is where people make the booking and select the rooms, it'll be there. If it's with every room type, if it's with the payment section, if it's with the confirmation section, you can have multiple messages and you can customize it as much as you want. Next is the settings. So here we can configure some more settings for the booking engine. So the theme configuration is mainly about the aesthetic and how everything looks. This is how we can actually start restricting some options. So a problem with the old booking engine is when a guest makes a booking, they can select any time they want to arrive. Here in the top left, you can actually limit this. So I've set it to 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. They can only select between those times now when they make the booking for when they're going to show up. You can make collecting address details mandatory if you'd like. So you can add these to appear on the booking engine and then click on the right to make them mandatory. If the property doesn't take any infant or children, you can select these and they will no longer be displayable. So they can't book for children or infant anymore. If you do have them, you can go to your age setup and just list what ages you consider are a child or an infant. If you have any Google Analytic tools, you can throw them in here. If you have a custom consent form that you want them to agree to when they make the booking, you can set this up here. So usually I recommend you throw in the please see terms and conditions and then put the agreement label as I agree to the terms and conditions so they can making sure that they understand the rules of booking at your property and they have to tick this to continue with the booking. You can also get your URL from the bottom here. So once you're fully set up, you can take the URL from here and then put it on your website or give it to whoever wants to start making bookings. The last thing for the booking engine configuration part is the guest portal. By default, it's set to none, but if we use the manage booking option, when a guest makes a booking, they get their own confirmation number. They can use that confirmation number to log back into the booking engine and update some of their own details. So you can see the information here that they will be able to change if you turn this on. So only for now they can change their guest information. They can add special requests that will go to the notes, or they can update their credit card details. And down the line, they'll be able to pay straight away using that confirmation. So if you have pay 7 days out and they don't want to transfer, they can go here to pay instead. Although this will probably need GuestPoint Pay to work. They can change their dates up to a specific time before their booking as well. And that is the whole configuration. Next, we just need to go through our room types and rate plans as there are now new options to update our current configuration with. So if we go to our family room, you can see the bed types. It's no longer just double or single bed. You can actually have real names for what beds are in the rooms. So I've put in a king bed, queen bed, and single sofa bed. And then the gallery, like before, supports a higher resolution photo. So you just need to re-add your photos here for the new booking engine. Go to your rate plans And you can see that the default rate plan policy has automatically been assigned. But if you have new rate plan policies or separate rate plan policies, you can go through and assign that individually here. And the last thing to look at is your marketing and promotions. So your extras now support photos on the booking engine as well in the middle here. Promotions work the exact same, but we now have this thing called a flash sale. Setup is exactly like a promotion. So you put your discount in, put your rules for the promotion in, but no promotion code is required. And I'll put this for the family room to start with, and we'll put it on for 50% off. And we set it up just like a normal promotion, except when someone goes on the website now, it'll automatically apply and they'll see it in pretty obvious writing that this is a limited time offer. So if we add this, and now with everything set up, let's add a photo as well to here. So we've gone through all the core changes, and let's have a look at what the new booking engine looks like. So I'm going to grab this link, open a new tab. So here's the direct website. You can see at the top the main gallery that we played with at the start in the theme configuration. So here's the main photo, and you can scroll along it. If you have extra photos, you can see all our rooms and the rate plan policy we set up by default. And here we can see the flash sale. When they select a booking, you can see it goes to our cart system on the right, and they can add multiple rooms, which is also a new feature. And that's it. Hope you enjoy the new booking engine.